What's the impact of intersex condition? Not sure. The fish still spawn. Maybe there are less sperm. Maybe the sperm are less motile. I think we know that. Does that mean that there are fewer fertilized eggs? Probably. Does it mean that there are fewer baby fish? Probably. Does it mean there's a smaller population? Probably. And in fact, the results that I pointed to earlier from Canada would indicate that at least in that condition or that situation, there was a population crash. So it would appear that at least possible that the intersex condition is very significant. But yet it's really hard to interpret what all this means because we don't have water quality standards for these compounds. We have water quality standards for copper. You can't drink water with copper more than whatever, 50 micrograms per liter. We have for zinc, we have for lead, we have for mercury, and so on, but we don't have it for acetaminophen, and we don't have it for DEET, and we don't have it for any of these emerging contaminants. But the EPA white paper that I talked about earlier, Craig, that will address, EPA is considering whether or not to establish water quality standards for at least some emerging contaminants. So hopefully that gets done within the next couple of years. And we also don't have any way to evaluate, or we haven't done any evaluation of mixtures of these compounds. Is there a synergistic effect? Is there an antagonistic effect? Is there an additive effect? We don't know. And also, there have been very few studies on human health effects. So, while I think we're getting our arms around the occurrence of these compounds, we know where we're finding them, we know a little bit about where they're coming from, but we just don't know much about what it all means. But it seems to me that we need to take a prudent approach, and that if we don't know about something, then we should be very cautious. And we should try to keep these things out of our waterways if we can. So, I think in terms of what we need to do in Pennsylvania, I think we need to continue with our monitoring, although maybe more focused monitoring than we've had in the past. Our monitoring previously, we've targeted our fish monitoring with the water quality network sites because EPA was paying for the water quality network water chemistry for those sites. That's a huge bonus because these chemical analyses are expensive. So we did our fish work at those sites. Maybe if we did more focused and selected our sites a little better, we could come up with some better conclusions. We need to learn the connection between emerging contaminants and fish health. Fish health, I think, is the one spot where we know there could be problems. I think we need more evaluation of our drinking water supply, which has been pretty inadequate here in Pennsylvania. Maybe Ariane will talk about that. But what exactly are we drinking? And of course, then the big questions about human health concerns, we just don't have the answers to that. So I'm sure you're all curious about what we are doing in Pennsylvania, and turn it over to Ariane.